The man convicted of murdering 19-year-old Kristin Smart back in 1996 will face a judge for sentencing. Smart was a freshman at Cal Poly when she disappeared all those years ago after attending a party off campus. Her body was never found, and authorities finally declared her dead in 2002. Paul Flores was found guilty of first-degree murder in October of last year in Smart's death. Several witnesses testified that he was the last person seen walking with Smart back to the dorms that night, the last one with her. Prosecutors argued that he raped or attempted to rape her and then killed her in his dorm room. He now faces 25 years to life in prison after the jury found him guilty. That will be up to the judge to decide later this morning. I'm joined now by former FBI Assistant Director Tom Fuentes. Good to see you again. Thank you for being with us. The wheels of justice in this case have turned very slowly, but today is the day that the judge will sentence Paul for the crime and for the murder of Kristin Smart. What do you make of this case and the fact that they never found her? They didn't have a lot of evidence, according to the defense, but he is likely to spend the rest of his life behind bars for her murder.
Well, anytime the police are trying to investigate a case like this where they do not have a victim's body, it makes it much more difficult because, you know, if they had the body, they could maybe find part of Flores's skin under her fingernails if she was struggling with him. You know, we know that he had got a black eye, and he was very, suspicious, even describing how he got the black eye, or he took the Fifth Amendment anytime he was asked about it. So they didn't ever hear a good reason from him why he had the black eye. But in any event, they did not have really DNA to work with. They brought in dogs. They tried to check his room. And apparently the dogs gave some kind of a signal hitting on her scent in his bed, in his bedroom. But, you know, we don't know beyond that. Now, I'll be honest, I was not familiar with this case. I tried to research it. It was very difficult to find out exactly what the evidence was that was presented to obtain his conviction.
Right. I mean, they looked at his father's yard decades later. It wasn't until 2021 that he was arrested, and they found that there was a disturbance in the soil. There was presence of blood, but they said the DNA was too degraded, the sample was, to really do anything with it. So that's what the defense has leaned into, and they're doing so even this morning, Tom. They're trying to get this case thrown out. They want a new trial. Based on those grounds and a lack of evidence, even though they've got a conviction, do you think that they have grounds for a new trial? Will the judge agree to that?
Well, it's in the judge's hands. We don't know. He might very well agree to that. Now, one of the things, that they did present in this case was all of these other women that presented evidence that Flores had attempted to rape them, that he was a sexual predator, that it was very common, that he had a reputation on campus for women to stay away from him. He could be dangerous. And, that's the issue in this case. Now, it comes up that the day she disappeared, or the night she disappeared, her friend said she was highly intoxicated, but that was unusual for her to do that. So the question was, was she drugged at the party she attended? And then when she was being walked back to her apartment with two girlfriends and Flores, of all people, they never walked her into her apartment. At least the girls went ahead and split off and went to their apartment, left her with Flores. So after that, we don't know what happened. She was never seen again.
Right. Well, the jury didn't buy it, right? They didn't believe his alibi. They didn't believe his story. You brought up the black eye. We've got a clip of one of those interrogations when he has the black eye. This is part of what the jury saw. I want to share that with people at home.
Paul, is there anything else that you've told us that you didn't think was a big deal?
No.
That you haven't told us the truth?
No.
How do we know that?
Take my word for it.
Why was it so hard for you to tell us that you got that black eye hit in the steering wheel?
It didn't really matter.
What do you mean it didn't matter?
It was days later, so why would it?
If it didn't matter, then why did you lie about it?
Well, it doesn't matter if I leave out little details.
You're not acknowledging any of this ever happened. And yet all these other people are telling us it did happen.
I guess I had a black eye at that time then.
All right, so the jury would hear that he continued to change his story. He admitted to lying in that interrogation. My question to you is, we'll hear victim statements today. We could hear from Paul himself. What likely could he say to the judge that would impact his sentencing?
I don't think a lot. Just that, it was a circumstantial case. He didn't do it. Yes, he was with her, but, she went back to her apartment by herself without him, and he did not take her to his apartment. So, it's going to be his word against everybody else in this case.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.